Hi guys, just finished reading a book, so I thought I'd do my first ever book review. Be kind. So the review I'm going to do today is of a book called The Purge of Babylon by Sam Sisavath, which by the way is a very cool surname. Please try to forgive this weird halo of light. I'm having issues with the lighting, and this is all I can be bothered to do today, but hopefully it's not too irritating. Alright. So The Purge of Babylon, to give you a sort of basic idea of the story, the idea is that one night the creatures, nobody knows what they are, just appear seemingly out of nowhere and infect humans and take over humans and kill them, and they're gradually taking over and killing everyone. And there are a few survivors that are left, through luck or through skill, they're left surviving, and it's about sort of their struggles, their way to survive, their attempt to sort of, some of them attempting to overcome the creatures, some of them just attempting to stay alive, and their individual struggles, and then the group story. And that's basically it in a nutshell. I gave this book on Goodreads 4 out of 5 stars actually. I ummed and ahed about 3 or 4, but I went with 4 in the end because, to be honest, I enjoyed the story. I've said previously that to me a good story is more important than good writing, and a good concept. I loved the idea of the ghouls. I loved how the author had created suspense, which really works well with me reading books. Created suspense really well. You wanted to keep reading to see what was going to happen. Were they going to survive? How were they going to survive? Were they going to overcome these creatures? You know, which of the characters would survive and which would be killed, because you know they're going to kill some off. So the suspense and the desire to keep reading was to me the biggest positive. What other positives were there? I don't know. In terms of things that I thought weren't so great, there were a few things. They didn't, for me, ruin the book. They were sort of little niggly things. I found the story weirdly drawn out. Although I was completely involved and I always wanted to carry on reading, I remember that the story, because I read on Kindle, it got to about 24%, and I remember thinking, what on earth else have you got to say? I did keep reading and they did have more story, but at times it did feel a bit just like they were trying to write a long book when it could have been much shorter. Actually, it probably would have worked well as a short story. There's a thought. The other thing for me that really got my goat was it had a very sort of naive and teenagery idea of love. These sort of characters that meeting in a survival situation and being like, hey baby, and falling in love and having relationships at the drop of a hat, and the way they spoke to each other, it all just felt a bit cheesy and over the top and not believable. And I'm angry at love. And I'm not into cheesy love. I'm into real stories of relationships and things. So that really irritated me, to be honest. But as it was only a teeny tiny part of the book, I was able to just overlook it and sort of flick through those pages super fast. Oh, battery low. So as I said previously, I did enjoy the book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I felt that it had a really strong story, which defeated any of the weaknesses that there were. There is a sequel, I found out when I'd finished reading, and I do intend to read it, which I think always is a good sign, and probably will hopefully overcome some of those more irritating features. Maybe they'll kill off some more irritating characters too. That'd be nice. I do recommend reading it. I think it's a good story, particularly if you're into that kind of apocalypse, end of the world, creatures, sci-fi thing. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it. I wouldn't recommend it to people that have read books like I Am Legend. I'm a big I Am Legend fan, and there were a couple of moments, I can't remember them specifically, but there were a couple of moments where I felt that this is taken directly from I Am Legend. It's just completely copied. But it is a similar kind of book, so I suppose actually if you have read it, you probably would enjoy it, much like me. Do read it. Let me know what you think if you do read it. Having looked on Goodreads, it's not a popular book. That sounds a bit harsh. It's not a well-read and reviewed book. So I'd love to see more people reading it and letting me know what they think, see if you agree. But yeah, skip over those love parts and you'll be fine. Right guys, well thanks for listening. This is my first proper book review. I feel I'm a bit rambly as ever, but hopefully you'll stick around. Let me know if there's anything you think I could work on or things that were good, so that I know ahead of doing my next one. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.